Sharp Game here, back with another video. And today I'm going to talk about how to attract Japanese women. How to become more attractive to Japanese women. And there's a lot of people online that tell you where to go in Japan, but they never tell you how to do anything. And that's a common theme that you're gonna see when you get to Japan. And they always tell you where to go, but they never tell you how to do anything. And I don't know if that's a cultural thing or not, but it seemed like when I was in Japan, and even still to the day, I still visit Japan from time to time, and I still know Japanese people that live in America. They don't tell you everything. And they don't even tell you half of it, of everything. I kind of have an idea why that is, but I'm not sure. But I boiled it down to the reason why they don't tell you everything is because they always want to feel like they have a competitive advantage. They're always, they want to use what you don't know against you. So the less you know, the better off they feel empowered. So they can manipulate you and take advantage of you. That's why I boiled it down to. That's the conclusion I came to. I could be wrong, but that's the conclusion I came to based on my experience of living in Japan, and based on the Japanese people that I still know to this day after 20 years. And another thing you have to realize is there's certain things, certain qualities, it's absolutely critical you must have, in my opinion, to meet Japanese women and live in Japan. I mean, not only live, but live well and prosper and not get taken advantage of, because you have to understand there's different types of Japanese women. And I can go into a lot of details on that all day, but you have some Japanese women that are the well-off or rich women, and then you have the traditional Japanese women, and then you have the younger Japanese women where they kind of want to do something different. Maybe they want to leave America. Maybe they want to go to another country and see what's going on. They want to see some different shit. But the problem is they're willing to do whatever it takes to make it happen. And that's what's so dangerous about women like that. They're willing to do whatever it takes. So if they have to manipulate you, they'll do it. Or take advantage of you, they'll do it. And if you're young and inexperienced and haven't been around a lot of women, plus you have to understand you're coming into a new environment, a new country, a new way of living, and you don't really know anything. You don't really know you know very little going to another country. It doesn't matter how much information you research online or who you talk to, you still aren't going to have enough information because you haven't had the experience of living in Japan and being around Japanese people. Plus, they're not, Japanese people for the most part are not going to tell you what you really need to know to prosper and to live well without so much trial and error. So I boil it down to a couple things that you really need to know. And number one thing you need to know is you have to be a good communicator. And when I say a good communicator, I'm not talking about being a good speaker or speaking Japanese well or speaking English well. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you have to be able to see the meaning behind the words that people say to you sometimes. Because in Japan, there's a language barrier because English is not their first language, and a lot of people in Japan don't speak English. And even if they do, they don't speak it well. Not as well as you do, or not as well as the people that you're used to being around. So, because sometimes in Japan, they understand the grammar, but they don't understand context. So sometimes you have to see the meaning behind the words. You have to anticipate what they're trying to say before they even say it sometimes. So you have to be a good listener. And then you have to be able to role play and communicate to them, back to them, what you thought they were saying. And that takes patience. And it takes time to become a good communicator. So that's what you have to do. You got to become a good communicator over time. And another thing, you have to be able to write well. When I say write well, I'm not talking about writing like you did in high school or college. I'm talking like writing letters, writing email, writing text, writing anything on paper, writing anything that you can get your point across in a compelling, effective, and clear manner that a 4-year-old could understand. And the reason why I say this is because, we have a lot of technology and a lot of different channels of marketing and forms of communication out today. So you have to be able to take advantage of it. You can't just depend on speaking, on using words, you have to be able to put your words down on paper with a pen or pad or email or Facebook or videos or whatever it is. You have to become good at that. And there's no, you don't really have any choice today. I mean, you really don't. You have to be able, you can't get caught off guard, especially if you're in another country or have a job in another country. Because you have to realize that other countries aren't so much on top of technology like living in North America. They're kind of behind when it comes to technology. So you have to take advantages of all forms of communication. And then the next thing is you have to be a self-promoter. You have to have the entrepreneur spirit. You have to have a plan when you go to these countries. You can't be lazy. You can't leave things by chance. You can't have that entitlement mentality when you go to these other countries. You can't act like like everybody's just like you, like the people over there are just like the people in America. Like the women over there are just like the women in America. And you can't act like everybody's the same. They should understand what I'm talking about. They supposed to help me because of this and that. No, you can't have that entitlement mentality. See, the worst thing you can ever do as a man is to act like you're like it's equal opportunity out here. To act like go along and get along. Act like things don't exist. Try to see things the way you want to see it and not how it really is. I mean, that's the worst form of disrespect you could do to yourself as a man. Is to fit in. Don't rock the boat. Act like it's a fair playing ground out here. Act like the women's automatically supposed to like you. Act like that everyone should like you. You're a nice guy. And that's a very foolish and naive way of thinking. You have to become a self-promoter. You have to know how to carry yourself, dress to impress, always. You should never walk outside raggedy, or you should like dress like in a way that you feel good about yourself. You gotta have some pride about yourself. This is why you have to have standards. You have to have certain rules and that you won't break for anybody, any woman, your parents, anybody. You have to have that entrepreneur spirit, and you have to always have a plan. You can't leave things by chance. And this is why I see a lot of guys get into trouble, because they when they go to other countries, they think that kind of like the people in these other countries are the same as people are in America, and it's just not like that. People deal with you accordingly based on who you are and how you carry yourselves. Because there's no status quo in Japan. People, for the most part, they usually say what's on their mind. If they don't like you, they say they don't like you. If they don't like you, they won't talk to you. They don't tend not to do that in America, but that's how it really is. And you have to be on your game. I mean, you have to. If you're gonna talk the talk, you gotta walk the walk. You can't be lame and lazy like a lot of guys do, and you can't be a sucker for love like a lot of guys do as well. I've seen these types of behavior when I was in Japan, and it's kind of interesting how it happens, but just these are the things that you have to become really well. Communicating, writing, and become a self-promoter with the entrepreneur spirit. And you have to really, this has to be like a lifestyle. This has to be a way of being. It can't just be like taking a class and you learn it one time and that's it. No, these things have to become a part of you, like a part of your DNA. Because if it's not a part of your DNA and not a part of you, you're gonna quit. Just like you go to college, and once college is over, you say to hell with this, no more reading books. No, but you can't do that. This has to be a part of you. So if you like what you heard in this video, subscribe to my channel. Until next time, my name is Mr. Sharp Gain, and I'm out.